16th. It's been a long day. Been a long 2 days. Back-to-back clients. This week has been a lot. And I think it feels a little more because I'm exhausted. I am almost done with catching up on my notes. I should be done today. Just copy paste what I already wrote. Not that I'm repeating the notes, no. Because too much typing hurts my wrist, so I voice record. And so then from that I just copy paste, so it's using less of the finger movement stuff. Why was I recording? I'm so tired. So I think I'm down to the last video, for scheduling to post. And I haven't prepared the other one, so I'll be staying up late again today to do Yeah, okay, well I have tomorrow. Yeah. And I need to get started on making the mini courses available. And you know, I'm so grateful for what I'm experiencing right now with my clients and with people, really, because it's fueling within me. Okay, clearly people don't know this, so let me share this, right? And that's the thing, like sometimes I get so tripped out as to how I do what I'm doing, and I still self-reflect. I'm like, I'm looking up stuff. Like today I decided, there's this underlying knowing, gestalt, right? And I'm like, I know what I'm doing, it's just the labeling. I went from knowing exactly how to document to now this like unsurety of how I'm documenting. And I think it keeps getting brought up because a lot of my clients are telling me, like, no one's ever told me this. I'm just like, what do you mean no one's ever told you this? So then I started thinking, well, how is adult therapy provided? I'm just like, how is this information not being conveyed? And it's not like I'm sharing my core, I'm talking basic stuff here, and I'm just like, so then here's where I realized, one, the majority of clinicians that probably work with adults haven't really worked with kids. That's the only I can think of, right? That maybe they don't have the experience of working with kids, so they don't know how to teach the basic stuff, or at least review the basic stuff. And I mean, I had a client that was in intensive outpatient, and I was going over basic coping strategies, and the impression that I'm getting is that, well, and the validation really, because they confirmed it, no one explained why this technique was helpful. And so they just said, here, use this, it works. How? It just works. And I'm just like, no one sat down and explained the connection to everything. No, I was like, okay. Clearly they don't have a teaching background. So I'm like, okay. And then I realized, I was trying to remember what modality was I using, because I tend to gravitate back towards this modality. And then I realized, trauma, what is it? TFCBT. I was trained in TFCBT, so it's an evidence-based practice. What I liked about it was that it was structured in a way where it was a whiff of everything, a whiff of everything. There was a beginning, there was a middle, and there was an ending. There was information given, psychoeducation given, then the exploration and the storytelling, and then it was the let's break apart what doesn't make sense, put stuff together that does make sense based on the information we've already covered to open up a new chapter and move on. That's what I remember out of that training, which technically I'm not fully trained. I'm fully trained, I just never did the hours. So I think I must have been in transition to leaving the agency. But the parts stayed with me, and it made sense. It made sense. So that's one of the reasons why I always start with, let me give you information. Let me give you the basics. Let me give you this common language, so that as we navigate your story and explore and process your story, right, we're using the same language to put all these, and at the end of the day, my clients have all the answers. I always tell them that, but they don't understand how they know. And so then when I shared this with them, and I'm like, you have all the answers. All I'm doing is providing some basic information so that you can then do, oh, my story here, that makes sense for me now. My story here, I can see how that makes sense for me now. And then the parts that are struggling, it's like, okay, let's break it apart a little bit more so that I can highlight for you or reflect back to you, right? Or, the theme that we were missing, or, like, just, it's like I know what I'm doing. And I have to explain to my clients. And to a certain degree, one, they know it, that I'm not a typical therapist. I know it because I keep being told by my clients, you do things differently. You're not like the other therapists. So that the only difference that I can think of is that I've worked with children before, that I've taught before. And so, and teens and young, like the first part of life. So then when I see my clients, I'm able to kind of see where they were, how they evolved from the first part of life, and then kind of see where the gaps are, almost, if that makes sense. Like I could just see it. I'm like, okay, this part right here, this experience right here created this gap of information. And it goes back to the psycho-ed. Let me give you this information, and then they're like, this makes sense, and then it triggers a story, and then we process it, and they're like, I can see it now, and I'm like, okay, what else, right? And it goes back to, gosh, it goes back to the basics. Like, when did we stop? Just sometimes it's frustrating, not for my clients, more so on the other clinicians, right? That I'm just like, what are they teaching you? Like, and so here's the crazy thing, the more that I experience this with the feedback that I'm getting from my clients who've had therapy before, multiple therapists before, right? It pushes me even more so to go back to teaching. And that's what I've been realizing. I'm just like, I love working with clients, but I also I'm being pulled to teach. I'm being pulled to teach. To cycle back to where I initially started. I initially started wanting to be a teacher. And then I went, I got nudged to do this. And I think it's because I need this to go back to teaching, but teaching people to do it in a different way, right? And so there's this more fuel within me of like, okay, my mini courses, okay, what do I need to record for myself, right? It's definitely fueling that. And I think that's where I'm stuck right now in terms of just trying to balance the caseload that I have with these other projects that I want to implement. I'm on TikTok now, so I don't know if I recorded myself in terms of, I identified what I wanted to focus on TikTok. It's going to be food for thought. So it'll be bite-sized pieces of what my videos have shared in the mini courses that I'm putting together, just snippets to get people to think, just to get people to think. To get people to think. And finding a way to teach it to a group of people, right? So that I'm not being pulled on the individual level for specific details. It's more like, no, I'm gonna give you the information, right? I'm gonna teach you how to do it yourself. And then that way, right? And you know what it is? I think that I'm starting to feel the struggle. And I get it. Everybody's exactly where they need to be, right? I'm noticing that I'm getting triggered more with the clients that keep cycling. And I'm just like, and I'm just there, right? I'm with them holding space. They're making their choices. So I'm like, okay. And then they keep coming back to me. Why? When we've already addressed the answer. We've already explored it. And then they keep coming back. Why? I'm like, okay. What? And so I'm needing to structure things, teach things in a way where I just redirect them. That's how I'm going to save my energy. Redirect them. Hey, check out this course. Check out that course. Listen to my videos, but really listen, right? And then after you're done listening, actually put it into practice. That's you know, and if something's holding you back, find out what's holding you back. And reroute yourself. I'm just amazed at how conditioned we've been to feel stuck in our situations. I mean, I remember I was there. And we all are to a certain degree. We're all, at some point in our lives, we felt stuck. Disempowered. Hopeless. That's tamed. hopefully my content will help, right? For those who choose to listen, it's always a choice. I learned a new word today, neoliberalism, where I guess money before people. The emphasis of money before people is neoliberalism. And I've heard that word before, I just never bothered inquiring about the definition, so I looked it up. Well, someone told me and then I looked it up. But, yeah. I'm gonna go take a walk, get a coffee. I tried Demos. Demos is a coffee shop in the corner. It's closer than Faye's. And they have this horchata espresso or something like that. Horchata something. And I was like, let me try it. Sounds good. So I think I'm gonna go get one. And then the market's out today, so I'm gonna walk through that for a little bit, listen to some music, and then come back and do notes, and then come back and do my videos, and prepare the next phase. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. I continue to be grateful for this experience. It feels good. It feels so good. It feels good. Okay. Hi, my name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us. In whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth, this just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is, you know, great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, you know, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, and we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, you know, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and you know, we'll see what else comes next for me.